Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. Just so you know, because I know you always want to know, tonight we have our live chat, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We have Winter Remix on the way for early tomorrow morning, another one for this weekend, and a major winter storm. It's definitely out there as a potential that we're going to watch very, very carefully. For more details on that, definitely check out the premium consulting video that is out this morning where we start to break down some of the details. Also, in the long range thoughts, we start to break down some of the features that are going to be part of this storm that we're going to have to figure out over the next couple of days. But for now, let's take a look at the observations that we have throughout the region. And high pressure is in control, but notice clouds are increasing. How do I know that? Well, when we take a look at this map here, you see how the circles here are filled in? That means it's overcast. When you have it 3/4, it means it's 3/4 of the sky is covered in clouds. So when you have this one line, it's a few, and when it's clear, that means it is clear out. So that's how you know what the cloud cover is when you're looking at this map. Temperatures range from the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, mid to upper 20s in our suburbs, upper 20s to lower 30s in our urban areas on the I-95 corridor, and lower to mid 30s down towards southern New Jersey. This high pressure system is preventing the development of precipitation, even though it's showing up very nicely here on the WeatherTap radar. This high pressure system, what we call subsidence, that's sinking air, is preventing the precipitation from reaching the ground because the lower portion of the atmosphere is very dry. So as a result, you end up with cloud cover but no precipitation. This is going to linger on through the day as our next low pressure system and disturbance approaches from the west. This is not a strong low pressure system that's going to be impacting us tomorrow morning. In fact, when you take a look at the infrared satellite picture, not really all that impressive, but you can start to see the lifting starting to show up here via the colder cloud top. So again, the colder the cloud tops, the stronger the lifting. And so we're seeing that very clearly right now. This is going to march its way straight across the Ohio River Valley and into our neck of the woods. And while that's happening, warm air is going to try to push northward. Now, initially, we're cold. So we have to wait for that warm air to overwhelm the cold air. And so that leads to snow, then sleet, then freezing rain and rain, which is going to make for a real wintry mixed mess just in time for the morning rush hour tomorrow. So it's not necessarily a powerful storm. It's just that it's the worst timing possible, right? When everyone's going to work, you're dealing with snow, sleet, and freezing rain. So yeah, not pretty. So when we take a look at our forecast for this threat that's approaching, looking at start time around 3 a.m., give or take a half an hour or so, and that precipitation will spread north throughout the morning. Now, in zone one, this is where we're expecting a little bit more snowfall here. And there in those locations, we're going for 2 to 4 inches of snow. The longer it takes over to mix over to sleet and freezing rain, the more you'll see the higher snowfall total. If it happens faster, then you're more likely towards 2 inches. Then we change over to rain by the afternoon. So let's say around 12:30. So there's a chance here for as much as 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain, which is not good, but it unfortunately gets worse as we go further west. We'll talk about it in a moment. In zone number 2, this again is where we're going to see snow starting off around 3 a.m., transitioning over to a wintry mix by around 5 a.m., and change over to rain after 10 a.m. Again, up to 1/10 of an inch of ice, anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of snow. The initial burst that comes through here is going to be a moderate burst. So it might catch you by surprise if you're up that early. And then you're going to start to hear pinging, sleet mixing in, and then the rain starting to mix in as a warm air. In zone number 3, which is essentially our I-95 corridor into the southeast, that is where we have a wintry mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain, rapidly changing over to rain, looking at a trace to an inch of snow, mostly on cold surfaces, a trace of ice, and then we change over to rain pretty quickly. So right around 8 a.m., we start to go over to rain, which is great news, but still watch out for some slick spots as you're heading out. Zone 5 is the easy forecast. It's just rain. You might see a snowflake or two if you're up at 3 a.m., but that is pretty much about it, with 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain expected. Now, zone 4 is where it could be a bit ugly. Now, there's some model guidance called the HRR that's a little bit colder. I talk about this in the premium video discussion, but that is the coldest outlier. So we're not going with that right now. But if there is going to be a bust potential here, it's going to be where the snow lingers longer than the expected freezing rain. So right now, again, we're expecting a scenario where a wintry mix to ice to rain, so snow from about 3 to 5 a.m., not much snow, traced to an inch. If we see more snow than what's being forecasted, that's great news. I'll take a bust in zone 4 rather than periods of freezing rain and sleet from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., producing as much as 3/10 of an inch of ice, which is not good, not good at all. And then rain by the afternoon. So we all warm up in the afternoon above freezing. So that's great news. But hopefully my zone 4 busts and we see more snow than ice and we can remove that much quicker. But right now, I don't think that is going to be the case. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Cloudy skies, look for high temperatures in the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast. Tonight into tomorrow morning, our wintry mix mess shows up, lifts through. Our low temperatures will initially be in the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, mid to upper 20s in your suburbs, and upper 20s to lower 30s in your urban areas. That is going to be more towards midnight, and then our temperatures steadily rise throughout the day. The rain exits in the afternoon with clearing skies towards evening, with high temperatures taking hold in the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior, upper 30s to lower 40s in the New York City metro, and lower to mid 40s in the Philadelphia metro. On Friday, high pressures in control. Quiet day. A bit chilly, but seasonable for this time of year. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, and lower to mid 30s in your suburbs, mid to upper 30s in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, mid to upper 30s in the Delaware River Valley, and upper 30s to lower 40s along the coast. So again, seasonable. Now on Friday night into Saturday morning, colder air builds in, and that's going to allow our low temperatures to fall off into the mid to upper teens over the northern interior, lower to mid 20s along the coast. Another area low pressure and warm front approaches for Saturday afternoon and evening. Very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow morning, with a period of snow changing over to sleet and freezing rain. So if you have any plans on Saturday evening, you might want to delay them a bit. High temperatures on Saturday are going to be towards midnight as temperatures continue to rise. So look for high temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior, lower to mid 30s along the coast, but that's going to be towards the midnight hour as our temperatures continue to rise. Now, again, there's that icy threat we're going to have to keep an eye on for the Poconos, Catskills, northwestern New Jersey, and rain right along the coast. By Sunday morning, the low pressure system starts to exit. We have periods of showers hanging around the region. Our low temperatures will be very similar to the high temperatures from Saturday, with temperatures ranging from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior and lower to mid 30s along the coast. Temperatures will continue to rise on Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon with sky cloud cover expected. The cold air behind the storm lingers and holds back a bit, so our high temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s over the northern interior and lower to mid 40s along the coast, which will allow for mixing of any ice that lingers around the area. On Monday, high pressure builds in. Cold air reestablishes itself. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s in your suburbs, and mid 20s in your urban areas. High temperatures rebound, but not by much, lower to mid 30s. Then we have our next storm that is going to be approaching for Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, now this is not a powerful storm. It's more of a stationary front with waves of low pressure moving through with just a slug of very impressive moisture clashing with cold air. So we're going to have to watch to see the details on this. Okay, so I wouldn't focus too much on the details, but what I can say is it's going to be a wintry mixed mess around the region for the middle of next week, with the potential for significant snow accumulation depending on how that rain snow line sets up. So right now, we're looking at temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast for lows for this time period. High temperatures ranging from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the northern interior and lower to mid 30s along the coast. So this is a scenario where you have a snow ratio around 10 to 1. It's a very wet snow. You could either end up as 34, 35 in rain in Atlantic City or 32 and snow in New York City. Very tight gradient in that respect, with the potential for some very heavy wet snow for somebody. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So that is the forecast for today. I'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. But we'll go over all of the factors impacting the region with our wintry mix for tomorrow, another threat for Saturday night, and then again the storm for the middle of next week. Or you can subscribe today for only $15 a month at NYNJPA Weather Premium Consulting Membership, which is well worth it, especially this time of year when the weather gets a little bit crazy. In the meantime, stay safe out there.